Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly episode of Everything Vaguely Paranormal. As always, I am Blake Smith, and with me is my partner in the paranormal, Miss Shelley Pruitt. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, except I just really learned that I was way below average in the pre-broadcast.
Yeah, we did. We pulled out a tape measure. Not what you think. Not what you think. We pulled out a tape measure to measure heads. Not that head. Our heads up here.
Yeah, I fell seriously short of my goals. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rabbit holes we run down. But aside from all of that,
other than that, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Like I said, I'm very disappointed in the boob and booty category. I am far below average. Quite depressing. Now I'm just gonna eat when we're done with this.
Oh Lord. Lord Almighty.
Yes, it all got measured on the pre-broadcast.
It did. Yeah. So y'all have some fun to watch tomorrow morning. But anyways, we're here tonight because we have brought a wonderful friend of ours who we absolutely adore. We were looking for a guest and I was like, oh my God, we need to get her on here because she is making waves and busting down doors in like this industry that I'm super proud of her for. And so I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to let her tell a whole story, but I'm going to go ahead and bring her on so we can get going. So she is a paranormal travel guide and investigator. She's also the founder of Tay's Paranormal Archives, which has some of the funniest videos I think I've ever seen. So we're going to go ahead and bring to the screen Tay Hamm. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you guys?
I have to tell you, well, I'm great, but I have to tell you, still, I think the funniest, when Blake said funny videos, it jogged a memory. I believe you and your cohorts flashed a ghost one night. Isn't that correct?
We did.
Don't think I don't watch.
We did. We were playing poker with him, and he was like kind of setting off equipment, and then he just like stopped. And I don't know, we were just in a mood, and one of us was like, okay, we'll continue. You want to see something? Are you here for the brothel girls? And then it just built from there, and we ended up just literally flashing him away from the camera. So
yes, we appreciated you guys turning around going, because I was like, in my head, I went, what a good idea. I've never thought of flashing the spirits before.
I knew where the camera was too, so
it was very obvious you did. Yeah, everybody made sure they were just at a just angled just right. But I thought, I've never thought to do that. Very inspired. I'm so stealing that too.
It's true though. My question is though, like, what happened with the activity after that?
It kind of picked up again, but nothing like crazy. But it picked up again, and then I don't know how reliable dowsing rods are, but we were just this was at Hill House Manor, and we were just there this weekend, and we asked in the same room, "Are you the guy that we flashed?" And it said yes. So
he's like, "Yeah, it's me. Do it again.
Yeah, come back."
That is hilarious. And you know what? That's the kind of energy I love that people bring into investigations. And you have that very infectious energy. That's one thing I love about you. And so I love seeing that you're taking on this kind of industry that you're breaking down doors, in my opinion, of with this infectious energy, because we've seen it proven time and time again that activity just ramps up when you take that kind of that energy in there. Do you see the same thing?
Yes. And I find that equipment just goes off if we start just having a conversation about not anything related. Like, we'll just be like, so I went to such and such earlier. It was really good. It was yummy, blah, blah, blah. We're just talking, and the equipment will just start going off again. Like, yeah, we like this. But if we sit here and we're like, how old are you? It won't really.
I hate those questions.
Yeah. How did you die? I don't want to talk about that.
I know, because the ghost is on the other, or the spirit's on the other side smoking a cigarette going, God damn, this question again. Son of a bitch. Like, Jesus.
Literally. Like, want to see boobies? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, want to see boobies.
See, that's the kind of energy that I tend to go on with. You never know what I'm going to ask or what I'm going to say. And I find that works really well. Other than saying, hey, I'd like to properly address you, can I get your name? And if not, I'm just going to make up a nickname for you, big boy, and I'll start calling them whatever name I want to. Funny how sometimes that gets sometimes not always the desired reaction, but it works. So Tay, I have to ask, how long have you been investigating the paranormal?
So I am 35, and my 16th birthday was at the Catfish Plantation in Waxahachie, and it's not open anymore, but it's haunted. It was haunted, still is. So that was my 16th birthday party. So I was like full throttle into it when, that long ago. I was watching Ghost Hunters and all of that. And then, life kind of got in the way, and I was just still interested. And then 2 years ago is when I took investigating like seriously, and I was like, I'm going to make a business. I'm going to do it full time. And so about 2 years of actually like consistently investigating.
Right.
I love that. So you are at heart, number one, paranormal investigator. Mm-hmm. But what I want to talk about though is this business, because this is what excites me. So tell us a little bit about Tay's Paranormal Archives. Like, what do you do? Give us your elevator pitch spiel. Come on now.
So basically, I can book locations for you, and I have contracts at 2 locations so far, Hill House Manor in Gainesville, and then Texas Jailhouse in Palestine. So I can book on behalf of you. I can get all the information. I know the owners, and I know the owners of other locations as well, but also I tie in the travel guide part, because I go to places in these cities, like where to get coffee, where to eat your dinner, where to get supplies, even where to get gas. And I've collected my research from going to these places, experiencing them. And I made like little location packets for each city that these big haunted locations are in. So even if I don't have a contract with the location, I know all about the city where you're going to be in and things that you're going to want to look for, and just like tips about the town. Like everything's closed on Sundays, like at some places. So it's kind of travel guide. I didn't want to call myself a travel agent because it's more of a travel guide, but primarily paranormal investigations.
That would be really handy, because like you and I, we've been in quite a few places and there's been nothing to eat because everything is closed. Mm-hmm. And we're like, God, we wish we would have known that everything closes at 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, or nothing opens before 11.
Yes.
And we always seem to end up in the strangest places when we go to eat. And it's just kind of like, who picked this? So that actually is a very handy tip for people that travel, like all 3 of us do, travel around to different cities, different states. Is your focus primarily in Texas?
Yes. I'd love to broaden that, but I'm so good at Texas. So I'm sticking with Texas right now, but I'd love to broaden it eventually.
So give us your recommendation. If we were going to book the Hill House Manor in Gainesville, what are your recommendations for that area? And be aware, I'm very familiar with Gainesville. So tell me, where would you send me to eat, to get coffee?
Yes.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know what's in your packet.
So Gainesville is less. What was the other one? Jacksonville is my bigger packet. And Gainesville only has like a couple of things, because they have that little downtown area that was cute. And I went to, the wine bar that was there, and then the coffee place, but the coffee place was closed on Sunday and we were booking Saturday night. So I still haven't been to that coffee place, and I'm big on coffee. Every other location I've been able to hit up, but Gainesville was a weird town for me to compile. I'm not going to lie, but Jacksonville was like, boom, boom, boom. I went to like all the places, and I don't know. Gainesville is in the works. Let's call it.
In the works. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's hours. It's a weird. Yeah. Hours were weird, and the time.
It's one of those places. I lived in Dallas for a decade, and it's one of those places that it's just an hour north of Dallas. So you think it's going to have like that big city, atmosphere type stuff, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't. It still is very much like small town, like everything closes down at a certain time, like all that kind of shit. So I understand your struggle with that, because we've investigated there several times and we're like, let's go eat here. Oh, they closed at 6. Who the hell closes at 6? So we end up having to go to like Sonic or something, because we waited.
Yeah, we went to IHOP.
Yeah, because shit was popping off in the house. So we're like, no, we're gonna investigate for a minute, and then all that's left is Sonic.
Yeah.
So you would give me some other options other than Sonic, right? You would ferret out what's open until 10 p.m. for me.
Yeah, it's just hard to hit up those places at the times you can book the house. So I've had to work it around. But places like Jacksonville and Palestine are, so much easier.
So how did you end up getting contracts with these locations? So what was the catalyst that brought that about, and how did you structure that to the owners?
Well, I knew I wanted to book locations on behalf of people. I knew that was something I really wanted to do because I know so many owners, just like y'all do. Like, you just know the owners. Like, why not work something out? And I made I made a contract because I was like, I'd like to get this official, so I'm not stepping on any toes. So they know I'm not changing any rates, and I'm not taking away bookings from them. All people are doing are just booking through me. So yeah, I just pitched it to a couple locations, and then 2 out of 3 said yes. And then all I've pitched yet is the 3 locations. So yeah, 2 out of 3 were like, yeah, let's do it.
I love that. So basically you're just kind of like their liaison, so to speak. So like the people, they find you, let's say on social media, and you're like, I'm a paranormal travel guide. I can book Hill House Manor and this jail for you. And they go, I want to go to Hill House Manor. So you just collect their information and then you make the booking on their behalf.
Yes.
I love
and people
that.
find me. No one's doing it. So
that's what I was just about to ask. Do you see any competitors doing this?
No. I mean, and I'm not saying there isn't anyone doing that. I haven't seen anything. And then I gained my following through like the funny videos and stuff. So I was like, I already have like people watching, and I'm filming those things in these locations, so it all just kind of came together of like, okay, I can actually book this for you if you want to.
And you know what? That's something that's very needed and necessary, because I know that whenever we have gone to book locations, sometimes it's a struggle to find where to book it. It's a struggle to find their calendar. It's a struggle where if you have some kind of issue to even get a hold of the owners or the proprietors of the establishments. And you're giving us a direct link to talk to someone who knows where to go to book it, where the calendar is, how to find their availability, all of that. We can give you a date. You will say, let me check that out. You'll contact the venue, figure out what that is, and then book it on the behalf of whoever your client is, correct?
Yeah, it's that easy.
Damn, I let you do the legwork?
Yeah, and I've done it all. And I feel comfortable enough with the owners to like bother them. If they're not answering, I'll be like, I'm gonna give them a call and they'll answer.
Yeah, they'll answer you.
Yeah.
That is a side of it I didn't even think about, because there have been a couple of times, like, we've shown up in an investigation. There's been miscommunication on the calendar or something. The owner wasn't there at the meetup time. We did get in to investigate, so I'm not bad mouthing anybody. It's just there was some miscommunication between text and phone calls and all that kind of stuff. And we were having trouble getting a hold of the owner for maybe about 30 minutes or so. It wasn't nothing big. And we waited. We finally got a hold of him. But yeah, to be able to have somebody to be like, hey, you know them better than we do. You can, hey, yo, why don't you answer your phone? Like,
I know where they live. I can go knock on their door, literally.
I need the key. They're trying to get in.
But I've been in that same situation where I've waited like an hour or more just trying to get in. And I'm like, come on, like, there's got to be a better way. And whatever, I can do it.
I love that. That is such a good idea, because Blake's being kind when he said we only waited 30 minutes. There was one that we waited almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
And when the owner finally got back to us, the information we got was, oh, the owner's so far away, I thought you were going to be later than that. No, we booked it for 6 p.m. or whatever. Let's just say 6 p.m. We're going to be here at 6. So,
never mind.
You know which one it is.
it just clicked. Girl, we've done over
it was
130 investigations in like the last 4 years. Like,
yeah, I think that is a great idea.
Yeah.
And so are you using that to fund your investigations, or because it looks like 90% of the time it's you and then you bring a few cohorts with you? Is that one where it's kind of like a split the cost thing, or is your business now funding your investigations?
So it's kind of both. Sometimes I book with like my friends, and there's no we'll technically do it through my LLC just because we're all funding it. But and then sometimes it'll be somebody I don't know that wants me to book for them. So
okay,
it's both. It's half and half. But it does kind of break even, booking the place, and then we'll share the cost. But otherwise it's just whoever wants to book it, it's all theirs. And then if they want me to tag along, then I do.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Was that are you doing any public investigations at these places on like your business itself doing public investigations that you sell tickets to that people can join?
Yes, I have done a few, and then I think my last one was April 11th at the jailhouse, actually. So in the summer, it's just I like to focus on. Yeah, it's hot, and just at Hill House Manor this weekend, I had to go in like 2 hours early and turn on all the fans and the ACs because for the group, I was like, it's gonna be okay, but let me go in first and clear it out of the hot air. But yeah, I'll do random ghost hunts where I'll just sell the tickets, and then I make some money off of that, but. It's more just getting people to go and be there. And there's always someone new that comes. So I'm happy about that.
So I want it before we get into the actual locations, because I'm real curious about this jail that you're able, because I think we've been to the Hill House Manor several times. We've done an episode over it and everything way back when, which is a really cool location, but I don't know much about the jail. However, I want to talk about your packets about the actual locations, not just the travel destinations, but like, what does your packet include? Does it include anything about the history? Do you put any of that in there?
Yes. So like a basic rundown, and then like Hill House Manor has the Great Hanging of Gainesville in Gainesville. So I have like a little snippet about that, and just things people that they don't know off the top of their head. But that is like the Great Hanging of Gainesville happens so close to Hill House Manor. It's like it probably has something to do with the haunting. And then Jacksonville has the Kill Off massacre site, and then the graveyard where the Boltons are buried. So I include other historical / possible paranormal things that happened. And then obviously like the best place to get your supplies, or if you need to go on like a late night run, like Walmart closes at 11. So what's open in the middle of the night if you need batteries. And those
sounds interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll give you actually some live feedback. If I got a packet, what I think would be interesting, see if it's not in there. Now, you may already have it in there, but we're always curious as investigators. Do we have a place to sleep? Do we have a place to shower? Do we have a working toilet? Do we have electricity? Do we have heat and air? Do we have any of that? So do you have any of that information there?
I do. I didn't really think about it. It's like something for it. But like, Bolton Street House, like it's full air conditioned, and another house is not air conditioned, and you can use a stove here, but you can't use it there. So I have all that listed out as well. Most places have like one working bathroom, but hey, it's a working bathroom. So
still a bathroom.
All you need is one.
Yeah. We had 10 people.
That's a paranormal. You are a paranormal travel guy gold mine of information.
It was so easy.
That is awesome.
And I've been to all those places, so it's like I can tell you firsthand, like, oh, that place was good. Maybe don't go to that one.
So you're talking about saying firsthand. You mentioned the Kilo Monument. Have you been out the Kilo Monument?
Yes.
That is the weirdest feeling property to drive on, and they don't let people go after dark. Go ahead.
Oh no, it was because we got there and it was still light out. And then these like guys came by on like 4-wheelers and were just like, hey, they just came out of the woods, and we were like, hey, and then they just drove off. And then we found evidence on the ground of it was like, I think it was rifle casings. And then we found where he was shooting at. It was just like the cans on the fence. But yeah, it was just an interesting place. And then there was also just like a baby doll just left there. It was just a bunch of weirdness happening all at once. And then you've got the monument itself, and we weren't even like there yet, but it was just so out of the way. It felt out of the way. I don't know, like a separate.
Yeah, and Blake, just for knowledge, I don't know if you've ever been to Kilo Monument or not. It was out in your area when you used to live in East Texas, but it's known for having people just appear out of the woods if you're there. It's known for having random rifle fire, gunshots heard while you're out there. That's why they don't let anybody in after dark. They say you can't go after dark because there are some very, very strange things that happen in and around that monument. Most of it human related.
Yeah.
But there have been, I still remember a story that I was told about this, about a man who was out there, and he was out there after dark, and he said that something walked up to him and touched him on the arm, and that as he turned to take a swing on it, it vanished. So I don't know, strange things out there in East Texas.
That actually, it's funny. I born and raised in East Texas my entire life. I've actually never heard of that monument until just now. I just looked it up. That looks eerie as shit.
It is. Yeah. And somebody came out of the woods and we were like, just like you said. So I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's actually a known thing. My friend lives probably about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes from that monument. Wow. So I've gone out there a couple of times. Once was enough for me.
Y'all are just in there like, and this is how it ends.
Yeah, totally. I was like, okay. And there was gunfire. There was. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how close, but there was. And this was like 4 to 5 p.m.
That's effing crazy.
So in all your travels, what has been your most interesting location? And I know it's like asking you to pick your favorite child, but what's the location that has interested you so much that you either can't wait to go back or going back is in the future that's just kind of calling to you? What's your location?
So I would say Hill House Manor because of the activity I personally have gotten there. The voices that have come through on Spirit Box, the SB7, not like the apps or anything, are voices, and they're saying cuss words, and it's the same voices over like a 6-month period. And I haven't recorded, like I recorded the Spirit Box session, and it's just unexplainable to me. And like I said, they're saying cuss words, and you don't say that on the radio. So it just, that place specifically. But as far as wanting to go back, it's definitely Old Park Hotel. I've only been that one time. And that's the one I'm like itching to go back to so bad.
That is by far one of my favorite locations, definitely my favorite Texas location. Mm-hmm. Of course, we know Chad and Leslie very well. Chad's on here quite often. But their place is the place I say, you know what? If I ever have a non-believer, I'm taking them to Old Park Hotel.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
And I'm the part-time Old Park babysitter. So when Chad and Leslie got to head out of town, they're like, hey, can you? I'm like, you bet, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I got you people. I got them. Yeah. And I have spent many a night in that building by myself. And when were you by yourself whenever you went, Tay?
No, I was by myself waiting for other people, but they weren't there for like a couple of hours. So I was there with Chad, and we had things happen in just that couple of hours.
Yeah. What is it about the place that draws you there or is beckoning you back?
The activity. It's like I don't have a handle on it yet. Other places you're like, oh, it's a brothel. It's that kind of activity or such and such. But this one, I'm like, what is that? Like, what just happened? Because it was the little boy saying cowboy or something as I was telling cowboy stories to the camera. And Chad, I like asked him, I was like, were you like watching TikToks or something? And he was like, no. And then we went back and listened, and there's just a voice like less than an hour into me even appearing there. And it just had to do with what I was doing. So I'm like, who are these people? I like to find out who is haunting the places. And I don't have a handle on that at that place at all.
I think you should talk to Chad and Leslie Wandell about some paranormal tour guide assistance and bringing people to their location.
He was next on my list to like, if the first two worked out, I was gonna be like, okay, Old Park is next. I'm gonna talk to him, but I'm not there yet. But I want to. I would love to do that.
Totally get it. And just to give you a little woosah moment, Chad is, you obviously know, is a down-to-earth guy. And he is happy to hear anybody who has a crazy idea. So, because we love Chad, but he's crazy himself.
That's what we love about him.
To own these places. Like I've never met an owner that was just, perfectly sane in all capacity. They always have their little extra, and it's good. But
crazy in the good way. Crazy in the good way. Fun, down to earth. Lots of laughter. A great guy. But that would be an excellent addition to Tay's Paranormal Archive. So that's pretty cool.
It's literally next on the list.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. That's amazing. I want to go back just a little bit in our conversation because we kind of glossed over another location before we get on other locations. This jailhouse.
Oh yeah,
Anderson County Jail.
Jailhouse. I have never been to this jailhouse. Shelly has. Tell me about it. Why is it haunted?
I can't figure out exactly who's haunting it, but the original jailhouse had gallows like down the middle where people were just hung, straight in the middle of the whole building. And what was it? Built in 1930s, and then they like change.
I think I have a picture of it from your pictures online. Let me load that up while you're still talking.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
So it changed to a working jailhouse again, but then the real new jailhouse opened up, and so it became a juvenile detention center in like the 80s. So there's a lot of cool like 80s graffiti, and they're all like, it says like Ozzy and Rush and like all these like names, and you can just tell it's 80s. But after that, it was abandoned for a bit, and then I don't know if there was something else in between when it was abandoned and when they bought it, but it's haunted, and I don't have a handle on that place either. I've been like 3 times, I guess, but I had someone whisper in my ear with like people like right around me, and it wasn't them, and they didn't hear it. And so I'm like, okay, so that happened. And then in this guy's cell, Monty Delk, I've heard shuffling in his cell. And then I had a really interesting Estes session in that cell. I was handcuffed, and then the door was shut, and obviously blindfolded and under Estes. And I obviously couldn't hear them, but they asked if you're there in the cell with her, and I just immediately go, yes. And then he says something like, can you just let her know that you're there? Can you touch her or something? And immediately I go, my hair is being touched. Like I could feel it. So it's haunted. There's something there. And they've caught so many weird, I'm not an orb person, but they've caught weird ones, and yeah, but it's like, what was that? And then there's been like a smoky manifestation of something as well that we caught when I was there. And it's haunted, and I don't know by who or what, because the history to me doesn't exactly make sense except for the gallows. Because the people that stayed there, they left. It wasn't like, death row after.
I was going to say, I will back her up on the interesting orbs and the mist, because I think I've investigated there 2 or 3 times. And my very first time I was ever there, all the lights are out, and walking through that after dark with all the lights out, it's a trip to maneuver around those cells. And I turned around and I saw this ball of light that literally was following me down the hall. And I was like, you kind of rub your eyes and like, what is that? Is that just a spot in front of my eyes or something? But I pulled up my camera and I took a picture, and it came right up in the frame and just sat there waiting for me to take its picture. And I was like, okay, click, click. But also, were you in one of the isolation cells, one of the solitary cells whenever you were doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was in one of the solitary cells with the handcuffs too, because the handcuffs, I mean, they aren't just for fun in the bedroom. You take them for investigations too. And so I had the handcuffs there, and I put them on. Shut up, Blake. And whenever I came out of the cell, there literally was a mist that went across that was seen by 2 or 3 people, almost like someone had been checking and looking in that little tiny window that's on one of those solid doors. Like they were like, what in the hell is she doing in there? But they saw the mist go by just as I was coming out, and I caught the very tail end of it. I can attest that both those things do happen. You get followed down the hall by orbs, and there's a weird mist that goes through near those kind of solitary cells. I've seen that. Take the handcuffs. It's fun.
I did, yeah. Now I always have them on me.
You're ready for any kind of party, right?
Well, I would say like one thing that I truly believe, and it's interesting, the locations that you're going to and are trying to get these contracts for and everything like that. There's places, I think we have 5. There's 5 places that we believe to be some of the most haunted places. That's hotels, theaters, jails, museums, and I always forget the
brothels.
Well, no, those fall into the hotels. There's another one. We did 5 categories a while back. I'll have to think on it in a minute. But the reason being is like, hospitals. Think of all the energy that's being spent in there, the good and the bad, the emotional energy that's being spent in these types of locations. I think that really has a lot to do with why jails, hotels, museums, hospitals, and whatever the other last one I'm forgetting is, are so haunted. So maybe it's not so much about what the haunting is or why it's haunted, but experiencing why their energy is interacting with the environment the way that it is. What was happening that brought them back to that moment? Because obviously in a jail, nobody dies like, I'm going to go back to a jail to haunt, Those intrigue me. Anyways, that's kind of my take on jails, different perspectives.
Well, and I wonder if the energy that people bring in can manifest physically without it being like a haunting, like a person. It's just the energy. And maybe that's what people are considering residual energy, but it's just another one of those, like, well, not many people died here. So why is it, but so much energy is going throughout its life as a building. So there's got to be something to it.
I think that definitely falls into the same kind of category. What you're talking about, what I'm talking about is that energy that's brought into that environment, I definitely think can begin to manifest on its own if enough of it is brought in, thought form, whatever you want to call it, egregore, blah, 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 tulpa. I mean, there's a million names for them. I think we're speaking the same language, just different. I don't know where I was going with that. Grammar? I don't know.
I meant to agree.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you
my analogies are not good tonight. I'm sorry.
If you think about theaters are putting on shows that are talking about, usually, I mean, their subject matter is the human element. Laughter, sadness, joy, fear, lust, greed, everything, all the human emotions replayed night after night by the players, and then another show will come in, play night after night. Even if it's like a concert, that much energy and location, everybody's excited. There's lots of joy, happiness. Yeah, I think that kind of energy can be put into a building, and then I think it can be echoed and remembered. And you never know. I think some of those hauntings, especially like with theaters, that might have been somebody's best night of their life. They went there with their granddad, and for whatever reason, whenever they pass on, that's where they go back, because that was a place they were the happiest. I think sometimes that's why a spirit haunts somewhere, is because that was their happiest moment. Yeah, that's just me. I don't know.
We don't know at all, but I like that. Sure.
Yeah, I like the chasing of the investigation portion of the theory, the chasing of the theory. So another thing I want to go back to as well, you mentioned earlier that the people that you book on behalf of, if they want you to tag along, that you're more than happy to do that. When you go into that mode, do you find yourself being more than just a guide and kind of like a teacher with the investigation? Like, hey, teach us the ropes, like show it. Do you bring equipment with you at that point that they may not have? Okay.
I treat it as I'm the lead investigator of that night, because usually those people are newer, or they only have a couple of things of equipment. Because what I'm trying to do is kind of like be a bridge from people that aren't really into the paranormal, but they want to be into, like, booking the place for them. Because a lot of them are like, how do you even do this? So people that want me to tag along usually want to use my equipment and want to use my knowledge. So I do kind of treat it as like a lead investigator.
I love that. What kind of experiments do you run? Do they run the gamut? Do you do some that are, I guess, predetermined based on location?
Based on location, because the only places that I, book for people are places that I've been. So like the jailhouse, they were not receptive of like cigarettes for some reason, or alcohol. I don't know if they thought we were like trying to trick them. Like, oh, that's not allowed. It's not allowed because we're not in jail. They think we're like guards. I don't know. But places at like Bolton Street House, they'll be very receptive to that. And playing cards, we always play a round of poker or blackjack. And Hill House Manor, I have the most luck with that game. But other places, yeah, it's just kind of, you think about what it was before and what they might have done. I like to play music a lot. And sometimes we'll get responses back. Like, we got a good, another Spirit Box SB7, where he said, we were talking about music. And we're like, well, what kind of music? We can play it. And clear as day, he says, country. And it's just clear as day. So we played some country music, and I mean, nothing crazy happened, but you could just feel the mood get lighter. So it's just, I don't know, those kind of experiments where it's like I said, you think about what it was, what they might want to hear, because they don't want to talk about death and all that all the time. But a little bit of everything, a little bit of dowsing rods, a little bit of Estes, a little bit of Spirit Box. I love Spirit Box sessions. Just kind of lead people through doing different things.
I love that. So you have a wide array of experiments, and then based on whatever location you're going to, depends on what you pull out. It's kind of the way we are too. I mean, especially ones that we've been to, like, what works, what elicits response. And I think that's why it's so important to utilize people like you or like us when we're booking these locations for either public events or as a, travel guide, paranormal travel guide. fantastic idea still, because we can give you the insight. We can tell you, like, you know, a lot of people, you're going out there, you're trying to find these locations, you want to book them, you go on the website, you're like, you know nothing about this place. But if you were to use her, you also have a possible lead investigator for the night who not only can get you booked for the place, but who can show you the ropes, bring equipment, and run experiments for you.
And another history of the house.
That is fantastic.
And whenever you book these places, and we know that the price of booking a paranormal venue has gone up a lot. And if you pay that kind of money to go to a location, you really hope something is going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, if you have somebody like Tay who's been there, who knows what works, who says, hey, listen, if you try this, I've gotten good responses, you at least have a starting point and have a better chance of getting that activity going. And would you say that every time you go back, Tay, to a location, would you say that it seems like the spirits are more familiar with you, that you seem to get more and more and more as you go back because you've kind of established this bond of trust?
Absolutely. And they say my name on the spirit box, SB7, at certain locations. And they'll say Tay. That's the funny thing, because I'll introduce myself as Taylor, but they're all calling me Tay. So I don't know if it's because that's what people are calling me, or they see like my shirt or something, but it's interesting at every place. They're calling me Tay. But I'll say, I'm Taylor, yada, yada. But they'll say it.
It's because you're buddy now. You're best friends.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
That's how I feel at Hill House Manor, especially.
Well, you know what? If you go there, because I'm all about continuing the story. I want to continue their story. I want to tell their story and continue it. Give them a chance to say something that they may not have gotten a chance to say in life. They can say it now. And I think when you start to develop those kind of relationships with them, you do get stuff like that. You do get shortened names and hey, buddy, hey, pal, hey, friend type atmosphere. And I'm sure, as Shelley just asked, you see that kind of grow in the amount of activity you get every time you go back. So that's why it's so important to just be respectful, honestly.
Yeah, because you're not going to tell somebody you don't know your secrets, but somebody you're familiar with that's your friend, you consider your friend, you might tell them a little more, and you might just tell this rando in off the street, the spirits like, who are you? Never seen you before. We'll just get rid of them. You're like, everybody shut up. They'll leave here in a little while.
Well, there's such personal questions sometimes, like personal stories. It's how they died. That's huge, you know? And a lot of times there's other like assaults and things that happen on top of that. I don't want to tell that. Yeah.
I want to tell how you got down, how you got funky with some music and stuff like that. That's what I want to tell. I want to tell about the actual person.
And they'll respond. I was going to say they'll respond to like, if you ask like what they worked for, what they did as a trade. And I've gotten some answers there, and it's like, that's what they want to talk about. Yeah.
But that's good investigating. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, because then that gives you more to go off of. Because if you say, what did you do as a trade? And they come back with carpenter or something like that, you can then grab, your trigger objects at that point, and you can try and, to get more responses and stuff like that to continue their story. What did you make? Did you make anything in the house? You can learn so much more about them. I love that.
So what advice would you give to someone going into a new location? What is your best piece of advice you could give someone in order to enhance their ability to get responses and get elicit something from the spirits?
I do have one. Don't talk to the spirits like they're little kids or be condescending. Talk to them like they're people, because they are. I cannot tell you the amount of people that when it's supposedly a grown adult spirit and they're like talking to them as if they're like 3 years old, not just being nice, just like they're 3. And that's what my thing is, try to be respectful, because they're people and they likely know what you're saying and talking about. Now, if they can't hear you, that, there's a difference, but people that go into it tend to be condescending without meaning to.
Right. Yeah. So, I would agree with that.
So I want to tell you, and I don't know if you've ever considered this experiment or not. One of the most fascinating experiments I ever saw was I went and investigated an abandoned place that was for the deaf and sign language. One of the people I was with, they did sign language. And so they started signing, can you touch this device? Sign language. No vocal, nothing. The REM pod started going off. So I think that what you're doing by giving a little bit of information about the location is fabulous. Because what if I knew that it was just an abandoned school, but I didn't know it was a school for the deaf? I would never have thought to have tried signing something.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, but what are you thinking? I'm talking out loud. Though. What good is that going to do me? So I thought that that was very interesting, and I think that that's such a good idea. Like you said, there were people, and I like to think that you have all of your senses when you pass on, but perhaps maybe those that stayed behind have the same skills, capacities, flaws, traits, everything they had while they're still here. You know, if they're in their limbo or haven't gone to the other side yet. So yeah, talk to them like they're people. Absolutely. Don't talk to them like they're children unless you're sure it's a child.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So what is, I want to know, because we got just a little bit more time with you here. Okay. What is, what's the future look like for Tay's Paranormal Archives? Where are you trying to go? Or is there a location that you are like, I want to land this, or anything like that? You want to go all 50 states? Like, what are we talking here?
Worldwide domination?
Well, I mean, like I said, I'd love to broaden past Texas, but I'm going to focus, I feel like I'm going to be focused on Texas for at least like a year, you know, just establishing and all of that. I've got some Paracons coming up, and then I'm going to be in New Orleans a lot coming up. I've got 1, 2, 3 trips there from now till March. So it is haunted locations, but it's not really the famous ones. We're going to be visiting some plantations and going over a lot of history in that area regarding that, and then of tying the hauntings in. And then also the Cajun Country Paracon is in March. So I'll be at that one, but I'm going to be spending like a whole week there. And
do you need a travel buddy?
We're getting an Airbnb for like several friends. So
don't promise me things. Don't promise me things.
You can come with us. It's gonna be fun. Are y'all gonna be at the Cajun Country Paracon?
I don't know. We might have to now.
Yeah,
we might have to be now. I'm gonna say, as of right now, we are not going to be but we might have to be now.
It's my first time being there, so I'm excited to try it. But I know a lot of people that are gonna be there and have booths there, and I'm like, okay, if they like it, I should be good with it. But Louisiana, I guess, will be like my first step outside of Texas. So, but I just hope to keep travel guiding.
Absolutely. But Louisiana, honestly, like yes, it has some well-known haunts, of course, but there is also a lot of haunts that are not as well known that are bookable. You can book. One of them being like the DeRitter Jail, I believe, is down there that you can book, that I don't think I've heard anybody
and they're covered with like investigators. They've got like Louisiana Spirits, which is like huge all over Louisiana. So they're covered that way. But I'm like, well, nobody's travel guiding over there. So
yeah. Are you more centrally located in Texas? Like,
yeah, DFW.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember.
Everywhere.
Yeah, you're like, all right, so I just
far from me.
Take I-20 all the way to Louisiana. We're good.
Literally.
It's only like a 3.5 hour trip, 3.5 hour trip, something like that.
It's like $8.
Depends on to New Orleans, yeah.
To New Orleans,
to the border.
Yeah. To the border, yes.
No one wants to go to the border.
No, I was born and raised in Longview, which is about an hour west of Shreveport. So that's where I'm from. And we have investigated a lesser known haunt there, the Gregg County Historical Museum, which is a fun location we will be going back to this year in October. It'll be their only time this year that we will be doing it. So for those of y'all who like that location, we only got one. May have to see if you, being close enough, may want to join us on that one.
I love historical places.
Yeah. It is a great one. It is one of those that we're not quite sure why it's haunted, but we think it's because all the stuff, all the artifacts that are so personal to people that are stored in there seems to be a lot of people still attached to those, a lot of spirits still attached to those, and the fact that downtown Longview was alleged, I have to say the word alleged. To have been built up on top of a 40-acre cemetery.
Yeah.
So there's also that as well. There is kind of proof of caskets being unearthed below buildings and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of truth behind it. I don't know if it was an actual cemetery. So we may have to send you an invite to that one. Say,
no, please do, because I'm going everywhere.
Yeah. So that'd be a lot of fun. So Louisiana first, huh? And then
I guess so.
Do you have
I went to Virginia. I went to Virginia and did that cabin on 360. and it's on a Civil War battlefield, and it was very cool, but it's so far. So I'm like, I wanted to like add places like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But Louisiana is right here. People will travel to it. It's easy going. So
what is the dream location? We all have one. What's yours?
So I would love to investigate Tombstone. I've been a couple times, but Tombstone, Arizona, I love cowboys. I just love the history behind that. And yeah, I would love to actually like investigate these places there. And I know it's owned and probably difficult to like actually rent out, but that's my dream location to like investigate overnight.
I love that. Honestly, that's probably, I think, the first time we've heard Tombstone on this podcast. Everybody always says like Waverly Hills, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Pennhurst, things like that, the big haunts that are very well known. I like that your dream place is Tombstone. That's cool. I like that.
I love cowboys.
She said because I love cowboys, and I'm like, child, who doesn't?
I actually have a question from the comments. We got asked, what's the most unsettling thing you experienced during an investigation?
This was in Hill House Manor, and this was the first time I had been alone overnight. I stayed till midnight. I was just like filming TikToks and stuff, and I have never been bothered when I was alone there. I've been alone like during the day for like hours stretches, never once ever been bothered. And then this night, it was like at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. I hear footsteps running towards me, towards the kitchen. And I thought, because I'm there by myself, I was like, okay, somebody knows I'm here. They're coming in. They're going to kill me. Like it's a living person, because it was just so distinctly footsteps running towards me. I heard them start there and end at me. And I'm running out around, and I was going to be like, what are you doing here? You can't be here. I was ready to just shout out, and there's just not a soul in the house. And I was just like, was that purposeful? Was that intentional? Were they trying to scare me? And it was the first time I was like my feelings were hurt. Because I was like, were you trying to scare me? Because it was my birthday. And so I came in all like, it's my birthday. But it was the first time I really felt like they did something to bother me. So it was unsettling, because I was just like, why did you do that to me? You've never bothered me before.
Yeah.
But it was unsettling in that way.
I will tell you about something about that location. And it's interesting that you say that that's the location where you've had your most unsettling thing during an investigation, because Shelly and I have had we've had 2 nights out of the entire time that we've investigated. Three nights out of the 140 something investigations we've done that we would classify as like our top 3 scariest moments. And we do get scared. It's a human thing. We get scared. We're not big baddies and brave and all that stuff. Hill House Manor is actually one of them.
Ooh.
Because we actually had a gentleman taken over there at that location.
I saw that.
Yes, he got taken. He got taken over in that location. We were running an Estes. He got taken over in about roughly 30 seconds. And we had to fight him to get him out of the house. Unbelievable amount of strength. We finally got him through the front threshold. When he crossed the threshold, he hit the porch and woke up and was like, why am I on the porch? Doesn't remember anything. And fighting us the whole way and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting that your most unsettling incident happened at Hill House Manor, because that is also one of ours at Hill House Manor. So yeah,
I have another unsettling from that house, actually.
Okay.
It's a real quick one. Me and my friend Ashley were investigating the bedroom, and I always hated the bedroom. It's icky. I don't know. It just makes me feel bad. And there was somebody else in the house, and they were just being kind of loud, like just normal. And so we decided to shut the doors in the bedroom. And the moment that we shut the doors, both of us just got this primal fear. No explanation. We weren't scared to be in the room. We'd been there all night. Just primal fear, like your body instinctually reacted. Still can't explain that, but it was Hill House Manor. So there's something in there that just is trying to scare people, I guess. And then there's a lot of other spirits as well, kind of, come and go. But there's something that's 3 unsettling stories.
That was the very first. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, just real quick. I think it has to do with the well. I think it has to do with the open well and the underground water source. I think that's what it has to do.
What do you do about that? Like, you
can't. I mean, because I am a believer that water is a conductor of energy. I mean, obviously it's a conductor of energy, but paranormal energy as well, because we've had some of our most intense moments in the middle of torrential downpours.
Yes.
Yes, lightning helps as well, but torrential downpours is big time one of them. So
and with the well there, you have limestone and water, you got a battery and a beacon.
Yeah.
So but back to what you're saying about upstairs and that bedroom being yucky. That's the very first place I ever saw a shadow figure up in my face. I was walking between the bedroom and that checkerboard floor kitchen upstairs. I literally stepped there and there was something huge right in my face. I thought it was a man. I actually stepped back and I jumped and I actually screamed because it startled me. I thought it was one of the people there just playing a prank on me. And then I realized, there was no face on them. And where the hell did they just go? It was that fast, just in my face and gone.
He stands in that doorway. That's where the REM pod goes off. That's where we see shadowy movement.
And I walked right into him.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen that big, tall, black shadow run past that doorway before, so I know exactly which one you are talking about. That is interesting. I love that. Wow, I love that it's Hill House Manor, because we too. Yeah, like I said, we too. Hill House Manor is one of ours as well.
Also, one of the dirtiest Estes methods that we've ever done. Yeah, we had to put that on Patreon. We couldn't even put it on the YouTube because they would have flagged us. Taken down. It would have gotten taken down. Blake says some of the most vile, disgusting, hilarious things to me when I'm leading him in an Estes method. It's naughty. It's naughty. Yeah, super naughty.
So I want to give you just a little bit of time to talk about where any of our listeners, our audience, or any of that can try to find you, to follow along, where you get specific. You said conventions are coming up specifically. Yes. Do you have public investigations, all that? Where can they follow you, find you, investigate with you?
So if you look on my Facebook, it's a personal profile, but it's where all the hubbub is happening. It's Tay Hamm, Tay, last name Hamm. If you look up Tay's Paranormal Archives as well, you can find it through there. But in my bio is my my link. It's got my Canva homepage with all the information, and then my pinned post has upcoming Paracons, upcoming ghost hunts, and then in the comments I'll put like where to get tickets, and that's where I post all my videos and just everything. It's basically Facebook and TikTok. Tay's Paranormal Archives. Tay's Paranormal Archives. It used to be Files, but I had to switch it.
Well, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you want some laughter as well, like this girl, holy crap, you make some of the funniest videos. Sometimes I will just sit there and I will actually just go through your reels if I've missed a few and just laugh my ass off, because, and what I love about it is how your brain works. You're not, it's like you're taking these quote unquote trends, let's say, and you're giving them the paranormal spin. And it's like, how can I do this in a paranormal way? And it is the funniest thing, because if you are an investigator or have even thought about investigating, you know exactly where she's coming from on some of these. And you're like, oh my God.
It's real problems.
It's real problems. It's so real problems. So I highly recommend not just for the travel guide, but also for the reels alone.
Bunnies. Thank you.
The bunnies.
I love that. Well, and now that we know where to find Tay, Blake, why don't you tell them everything they need to know about us?
All right. If you give me just a little bit and wrap this up, and we will get it shut down once I can get my sign off pulled up. Why I didn't pull that up when we started, I don't know.
I'll just do it from memory.
You want me to try to do this from memory? Okay. Well, if you want to support our show directly, see, I already fucked up. If you want to join our show directly, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/EVP podcast. For just $5 a month, you'll unlock over 500 Patreon exclusive videos, including the pre and post broadcast, which is the 30 minutes before and the 30 minutes after this live broadcast. So you do get an additional hour with us each week. Your support from this goes directly back into the show and towards the adventures that we bring you week after week. And if you are not sure about joining Patreon, try it risk-free with our 7-day free trial. Make sure you stay connected with us. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and many more by searching Everything Vaguely Paranormal and looking for that green sound wave. And remember, you can catch us live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. To make all this easier, we're going to add all these links to our link tree, which will be on the Everything Vaguely Paranormal Facebook and X profiles Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And it is in the show notes for all you audio listeners. Y'all, we're grateful for your continued support. Every like, comment, share, and download keeps the adventures alive. So if you have a favorite episode, share it with your friends. And the easiest thing you can do to help out our show and its rankings, wherever you get your audio from, head over there and download our entire catalog and leave us a review. And if you have a story, comment, or a question, or you would like to be a guest on the show or have us as guests on your show, email us at the evppod@gmail.com. That is THEEVPPOD@gmail.com.
Go like, share, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Say hello, give us a thumbs up, and let us know you were here.
Absolutely. Well, y'all, we want to thank y'all for joining us for another weekly episode of Everything Vaguely Paranormal. For myself, I am Blake Smith, my partner in the paranormal, Miss Shelley Pruitt, and our wonderful special paranormal travel guy, paranormal investigator, and friend, Tay Hamm. Go check her out. Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Book a location with her. I guarantee you, you won't regret it. But we thank y'all for joining us. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.